Hey, what's up, folks? Today is June the 10th, 2019, and we are here in our daily recap video. Pretty interesting day today. Let's start here in the spiders. So, what we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and take a look at kind of what we're seeing here. We had this massive drop, right? Even closed below the 200 simple moving average about a week ago, right? So last Monday. And then since then, we went from a low of 273 to a high of 290. And folks, that's a pretty incredible increase. You know, over a 5-day period, we rarely see moves like this. I mean, this is almost 20 points worth of a move. And so we see these massive candles, massive gap up. Thankfully, we closed that gap. Got a little bit of a gap right here that maybe we haven't closed. And then it looks like we actually closed this gap this morning. But if we move in, you can see that we're getting close to resistance. We're above the 200 simple moving average. We're still above the 50 moving average now that we've closed above it, thanks to the last few candles after being below it for quite some time. You know, but now we've got 5 more points before we begin to hit this 9 EMA, the 9 exponential moving average. So from the spiders, I'm looking for a couple of things. One, I'm really looking, as you can see, these candles over here in early May. What I'm really doing is I'm looking for now this 50 simple moving average to act as some level of support. Moving average, this 50 simple moving average, then I'm certainly going to stay bullish, and you know, we may see us continue to move up a little bit. We're actually going to update this to 94.95 here. That way we get right there at that high, and then this is our first area of true resistance that we have, because this candle right here back on May the 16th, I'm going to go ahead and say that that candle is acting as support more than resistance for us here on the spiders. But this is really what I'm looking at. Is I'm looking at this all-time high as a pretty significant area of resistance. If we back up just a bit, one of the things you'll notice is this high back in September, right? This high back in September before we had this move from December through May, this 5-month move in which we saw a 233 to a 294. We barely broke this old high, right? I mean, as you can see here, we broke it by what? We've got 294.53 or so 294.50. We broke it by 40 cents, right? So with everything going on geopolitically, I'd be surprised if we saw a huge outbreak past 294, 295, but you know, crazier things have happened, so we will see. Let's move on to the Qs. Qs in a similar situation here. We are trying to close above this 50, haven't quite got there, but a major difference between this and the spiders is we're still about 8 points away from all-time highs here. So really looking to see kind of what happens here if we continue to move into this area. But again, I mean, we've seen 13 points of change here in the Qs. Diamonds, again, a little bit different. What's interesting actually about the diamonds is we never saw all-time highs, right? So we never saw these all-time highs again for the diamonds. And so we're actually still looking. So this right here in May, in which saw all-time highs in the Qs and the spiders, we're actually not quite seeing it here. We got close. We got within 3 points, 266. But it also closed at the low of the day, right? So we saw a really weak closing with the diamonds. We did not see as weak of it. Was still certainly a weak candle right here, but it wasn't as weak as our spiders and our diamonds. Let's take a look at our small caps here in the rut. We're 20 points away, right, from all-time highs here. So it's really interesting how we deviated between the 4 major indices. You know, we were all hitting all-time highs here in late August, early September. All bottomed at the same time, but we didn't see as large of a of a move. We are still, interestingly, a week didn't quite get the low of the day here on the Russell, but what we did see is we're still not above the 200, or the 50 here in the IWM. So we're certainly going to be taking a look at that. All right, let's take a look at our VIX. VIX in what is typically bullish for stocks. As you can see, as soon as we hit this, we started to see pretty bullish indicator for stocks. So I'm going to be looking to break out of this channel here. You see here in the end of May, right, or beginning of May, we got out, and that's when we were seeing our small little decline here. So this is where we're at. You know, I'm certainly going to watch some of these resistance levels, right? Huge resistance here for the IMW or the small caps. We've got support here in the diamond, support here in the SPY. Going to be really interesting to see what happens here in the Qs tomorrow. We were up big in the Qs, 1.2%. We were only up 0.5% in the spiders, 0.5% in the IWM, and 0.25% in the diamonds. So certainly going to be an interesting move forward. Okay, so this is it for today here in our major indices. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at Ryan, RYAN, @sellthatoption. Otherwise, as always, happy trading.